Hi Pisces, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina and today we're doing your April 2020 predictions. Obviously with everything that's going on right now, not a lot of like external shit is going on, so I'll try to keep it more to like internal issues. We'll see what comes up anyways, but yeah. So this may apply to Aries, to Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it might not apply to everyone, and that is okay, brother. That is definitely okay. And if you do resonate with this, if you are able to gain something from this, let me know in the comments down below. Give the video a like, share with your friends, family, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to know when I upload my videos. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. I'll be linking it down below. And if you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So let's see. The Nine of Pentacles fell out. I'm not taking it because I wasn't ready, but the Nine of Pentacles fell out. Alright, what's going on for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in April 2020? Okay. Ooh, okay, so we have the Ten of Cups reversed and the Three of Cups reversed. Interesting. So maybe there's some sort of disharmony within the friend group or social group. Or kind of like a drift in friendships for some reason. Like not seeing eye to eye with these people, with like people that you may have considered your friends, or just like an overall dissatisfaction within friend groups for whatever reason it might be. Maybe you feel as though they are taking too much from you or not taking you into consideration, that sort of thing. But if that's the case, then that kind of begs the question of like, well, have you addressed this matter, or have you kind of just like been quietly taking it and not really bringing anything up and kind of just like letting it all slide and giving them continuously giving them the benefit of the doubt. So let's see. Anyway, so we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, feeling out of control, or things maybe feeling as though things are not working out in your favor. We have the Moon, fear, anxiety, confusion, illusion. We have Strength, maybe dealing with, oh yeah, also the Moon, that's your card. I also associated with Pisces, or with Cancer, so maybe you're dealing with a Cancer or with a Leo with the Strength card. And we have Temperance, which is balance, moderation. Maybe also dealing with a Sagittarius. At the bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups. So it really just seems as though friendships or relationships in general, whatever sort of relationship it might be, it seems as though they are kind of at the forefront. And under the Two of Cups is the Queen of Wands reversed. So I don't know if someone is just like acting like a whole ass bitch towards you, or if you're the one who is acting like the bitch and like going off on people. Maybe you're jealous of your friends for some reason, or maybe your friends are jealous of you for some reason. Whatever this is, right? Queen of Wands reversed can either be someone who's very jealous, someone who's an asshole, who's a bitch, or just someone who feels really insecure of their self-worth. Or it's a little bit of everything. So maybe you're dealing with someone like this. For some reason, I keep on getting a vibe of like a maternal figure. So I don't know if this is like a relationship with your mom or with someone that you consider a mom. But yes, so it seems as though, again, there is that overall lack of fulfillment. Just not feeling emotionally satisfied. Maybe there are issues going on within the home with this Ten of Cups reversed, just like not a lot, kind of disharmony with the family for some reason, or with, you know, with siblings, with parents, with whoever this is. For some reason, the Three of Cups reversed kind of reads as escapism. Perhaps trying to escape the disharmony of it all or the lack of emotional satisfaction through substances or through isolation in some way, or like overindulging in something. Escapism, overindulgence in something to kind of like numb whatever it is that you may be feeling. So that's really interesting. Numbing things, numbing your emotions so that you can kind of let things go or whatever. Because we do have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which is like feeling out of control, feeling like things aren't really going out in your favor, feeling again like just feeling kind of like unlucky in a way. But I don't really like using that sort of terminology. But that's kind of what it seems like, is like just feeling out of control, feeling like everything is kind of spiraling for some reason. And there may be a lot of fear, a lot of confusion or anxiety surrounding the situation, surrounding this lack of emotional satisfaction, this lack of emotional fulfillment. Again, there may be issues within the friend group. For maybe you feel as though you're being ostracized for some reason, or I mean, like, obviously with everything going on, there is a sense of isolation again. So maybe you're just kind of having like withdrawals from friends because maybe your friends were a form of escape. And now that you don't really have that outlet at this time because of everything that's just going on globally, that might be taking a toll on you, because it's like you've lost that form of escapism. And so now it's almost like you're being forced, or you're being really pushed to like face this anxiety or this escapism, or like the root of it all, the root of why you feel this way, the root of why you find yourself escaping, the root of the emotional dissatisfaction or disharmony or whatever this is, right? Just getting to the root of it all, getting in touch with your subconscious, and almost like learning how to tame yourself. It seems as though you're being pushed to tame yourself in some way, or to tame your anxiety and to let it know that like you are the big boss here. It's not the other way around. It can't control you. It obviously like it feels that way. And sometimes we just feel completely out of control of our bodies, and that may really freak us out. So it just seems as though like learning how to tame ourselves, learning how to tame our fears, our anxieties, learning proper coping mechanisms rather than escapism, and learning to find balance and moderation through it all. It also feels like self-healing for a lot of you, Pisces, in trying to find the good of it all, and trying to balance things out in some way, or find some sort of equilibrium, or kind of see things in a neutral position, or in a neutral perspective, so that you don't end up spiraling so much. Maybe there are issues relating to like codependency or something, because with this Two of Cups here, I don't know why, but for some reason I kind of see it as like them clinging onto each other because they feel that's all that they have. Like they feel as though they are all that they have for each other, and it's like, I need you in order to be happy is kind of what it seems like. So if that's the case for some of you, this is kind of addressing that and kind of asking you to address the root of why you feel that you need this person. There's a difference between needing and wanting someone. It's okay to want someone, but if you feel that you absolutely need this person to be happy or to survive in some way or anything along those lines, that's, where things might need to be unpacked. So that's really interesting. Kind of like finding balance and moderation, finding healthy boundaries between you and other people, within your interpersonal relationships, whether again it's romantic, familial, platonic, finding boundaries and like learning self-discipline in that way, and like taming that need, like that, almost like that kind of learning to tame that compulsion, I guess you could say. Which, of course, like that alone takes a lot of practice, and it's a journey and all of that. I get that. I understand that, but that's kind of what seems to be, what's coming up here. Finding balance and healthy boundaries within relationships. For some of you, maybe you find yourself like taking on a lot of the emotional baggage of other people, and maybe you require to implement strong and healthy boundaries so that you can deal with your own stuff rather than taking on the issues of other people, whether they are placing them on you or you're like seeking out to help them or save them in some way. You know, like you don't always have to be other people's savior. That doesn't define your worth. So that's really interesting, Pisces. So we have like, okay, wait, the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Knight of Wands reversed. Which again kind of reads as escapism, like trying to breeze past something, trying to push something on the rug, under the rug, but it seems as though something has to be addressed, something requires to be addressed, whether it's like about family or friendships or whatever the case may be. It reads as escapism and trying to breeze past something. So I want to clarify this Ten of Cups reversed, or yeah, this Ten of Cups reversed, to see specifically what this may mean for you, Pisces. So why are they feeling this emotional dissatisfaction? What exactly is this Ten of Cups reversed supposed to signify? All right, so the Three of Swords. Wow, Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Some sort of heartbreak, pain, grief, sorrow. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. Okay. So Ten of Cups reversed as the emotional dissatisfaction. So again, some of you might be isolating yourselves and kind of having a little bit of a victim mentality. Because with this Five of Pentacles, this is someone who's focusing on all of the problems, focusing on all of the bad, focusing on how everything is going wrong, focusing on all of the other person's flaws. It's almost as though some of you may have been kicked off from cloud 9 and you are no longer seeing the images that you projected onto these people, and you see like how they might somehow be taking advantage of you, or you may have like allowed these people to take advantage of you in some way, or maybe like continuously just give them the benefit of the doubt because you wanted to continue projecting an image onto them, perhaps. Or just like, I don't know why, but I feel like betrayal, like somehow feeling betrayed within some sort of interpersonal relationship, and then like focusing on all of the wrongs and like almost like being hard on yourself for not having picked up on the red flags before. Almost like beating yourself up for it. And now like seeing all of the bad things and kind of saying to yourself, like just wallowing in your own misery with this Five of Pentacles. That's what this talks about. Wallowing in your own misery and being like, woe is me, and focusing on all the problems rather than like trying to find a solution or trying to find a way out or something along those lines. And we have the Four of Cups, which talks about like, again, indifference and like not accepting the help of others or not accepting advice, or again, just being like caught up in your own mind with that Four of Cups, like being indifferent to anything, being indifferent to all of the offers that are being presented to you, to any sort of offer of help. And the Five of Pentacles also talks about that, like not seeing any sort of offer of help because of the strong focus on everything that is apparently going wrong, that they don't see the help that is right in front of them, the helping hand that is right in front of them. So that's really interesting. Like just not seeing it, ignoring it, not wanting any help, kind of just like wanting to isolate yourself. And some of you may actually be feeling isolated and kind of blaming other people for feeling that way. it's almost as though you have alienated yourself and you're trying to pin it on other people for feeling the way that you feel, for feeling as though you were being ostracized, when, you know, there's a possibility that you may have like stepped back, you may have alienated yourself, you know, and it may not have been them, it may have been kind of like your own doing. And so that's really interesting. That's really interesting. Kind of just like focusing on all the problems, perhaps averting like accountability in some way, or like not wanting to admit, or maybe not even just realizing that, again, it may have been your own doing rather than theirs. So that's interesting. And again, it leads to this heartbreak, to this pain, to this grief, and like this anxiety. And 10 of Wands is taking on other people's burdens. Ace of Swords is self-sabotage. Devil, being stuck in a cycle that's unhealthy. Toxicity. That's really interesting. So for some of you, this may be an issue of self-sabotage. For others of you, it may be that you have taken on the issues of other people without them like consenting to that, and now you're carrying all of these problems and you don't really know what to do with them. That's interesting. So overall, the like message here that I could really give you with this, it seems as though it lies within the Strength card and Temperance. Taming the anxiety, taming whatever is going on within the moon, taming the emotions, learning to not let it control you, but you control it. And then finding moderation, finding balance in a neutral position, finding an objective way of viewing things rather than emotions clouding your judgment. Finding a middle ground rather than like jumping to two opposite ends of a spectrum. It seems as though you're required to do that. Because it does seem as though there's kind of like a little bit of a spiral moment here, just like spiraling out of control. So you may require to tame that in some way, and perhaps need some time to focus on how to better implement or emphasize boundaries with other people and with yourself. So yeah, I hope that helps you, Pisces. I hope it made sense. And I hope you were able to get something out of this. With that being said, I love you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you later.